today's video in two parts. One while Rosie's still with me. Hello. Say morning. And when I get back from work and she's still in nursery. So what I can think of today is things I wish I'd known before becoming a mum, basically. Becoming pregnant, giving birth and everything. So the first things I can think of, first thing this morning, because I meant to make notes for this video and I've forgotten, is pregnancy. I wish I'd been a bit more mindful, because now I'm like, I feel like I missed it. I feel like I blinked and I missed it, and that's like part of the reason I want another one, is to experience that sensation again of carrying a little person around inside. It's not to say I wouldn't miss it all for the second one as well. I probably was mindful with my first, but just to make a bit more effort and ask some more people to take some photos of me pregnant as well, because I think I've got like 2 decent pictures of me pregnant. Anyway, my husband took some of me like lounging on the couch that aren't very flattering. The second thing is to do the breastfeeding workshop before I give birth, because I didn't have all the drugs. I had the one makes you sleepy, pethidine is it? And I had gas and air, that was it. I was out of it after the birth. I was completely out of it. I was just not taking in any new information. I was completely incapable of taking in any new information. So I wish I'd done the breastfeeding workshop beforehand, so that I'd had a clue of what to do vaguely. So yeah, if you've got that option in your area, go to the don't think, oh, they tell me what to do after I've given birth anyway. You might not be in a state of mind to take it in then. So yeah, breastfeeding workshop beforehand. Also to do a bit more research about kids beforehand, because I trained to become a childminder after having her. So I've not registered yet, because I've not completed all the registration paperwork. I'm qualified, but I've not registered. So now I know a lot more than I did before, and I wish I'd known it before. So yeah, giving birth, I wish someone had told me, your body knows when to push. Don't let them tell you when to push. Your body knows when. Because I spent a long time pushing at the wrong time, and then realising just as they were going, oh, we're going to have to help you, we're going to get the ventouse, and suddenly I realised, hang on, I get it, I know where to push now. But it was too late, they were already helping me out. So I wish I'd known that before giving birth. I also wish that I had made a few more friends before I became a mum, because no one noticed me.
Oh, I made some hungry fingers.
Oh, she's made some hungry fingers. That's very clever, Babs. What colour are they?
Green.
Green. She's
They're
they're threading beads, but if she wants to play with them like that, she's been stacking them, she's been colour coordinating them and all sorts. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, I have friends, but they're flaky. That's the thing. Before I gave birth, all my friends were kind of like I had one friend who I'd spoken to for ages and ages and ages, and she just disappeared when I became pregnant. My best friend from school moved to Spain, so that's not her fault she wasn't around, but I could have really done with some extra girly talk and people to make me feel like Emily rather than just a milk machine and mummy all the time. So if you've got friends, try and let them know how important they are to you, and that you're going to need their support, especially if they've already had kids, because they know what's coming, so they know how important it is to get out there. Also to know that PND, so postnatal depression, is not just depression, it's a broad umbrella of symptoms. And I didn't, because I thought, well, I don't feel depressed. But I was anxious. I was so anxious. I had such heightened anxiety, and I didn't realise it fell under that. And I still have it now to a point. Oh, now she's got yellow fingers. I need to get that nose. Yellow fingers! I didn't realise quite how poorly I was. I didn't leave the house really for about 6 months with her, because they had the midwives and the people at the hospital had made such a massive deal about breastfeeding that Rosie had to be in exactly the right position and exactly the right I had to hold her the right way, and she had to be on exactly right and everything. And when I got out and saw other mums like basically slinging their children across their chests, and their children were just suckling away happily and everything. I thought I missed out on getting her out. I missed out on making some mummy friends during those first few months. It took me ages to realise there were. I mean, it sounds silly now that there were mum and toddler groups out there, but I think unless you volunteer, and now you've got orange ones. Unless you volunteer in one, or you go to a church where you're aware of one, it can be very, very easy to isolate yourself. It's very lonely becoming a mum to begin with, especially if your husband works away or works long hours. Orange fingers, they look so cool. Like Gruffalo eyes, knobbly knees and turned up toes. Yeah, so if I can think of any more to add to this, I will, but I wish I'd known that PND included heightened anxiety. I wish I'd read a couple more baby books before I'd had Rosie Bear. I wish I'd slept more before I had Rosie Bear and not felt guilty about it, because I did feel very, very guilty. She looked at me then. I used to always feel guilty about lying in, and now I'm just like, no, I'd let her lie in. And the other reason to have more friends is babysitters, because
I've got 7 fingers.
I'm gonna get that nose. You've got 7 fingers. You should have 10. You've got odd red fingers. I'm going to leave off for the same train of thought I left it on. Now she's in nursery and I finished work. Babysitters, yeah, few and far between. Especially if you're like me and you don't want to leave your child with a stranger. Because you hear all these things these days and whatnot. So, yeah, it can be quite lonely being a mum. And it can cause a lot of problems with your partner as well. Because if they don't get it. This is the problem. A lot of the men don't get it. They're like, I'm putting in the same hours as you are. I've got to work all day. And it's kind of like, yeah, but your life hasn't changed. You still get up. You still go to work. You've just got additional things in it. Whereas mums who stay at home to be mums after working, a huge chunk of your social life of just going to work and chatting to people every day is gone. That simple act of getting dressed, going to work, and not having to worry about another human being for just a few hours is gone. Hobbies that used to make you just don't have time for, and whatnot. Eventually it all comes back, and they say the first 3 years is the hardest. So hopefully we're on a roll now, because Rosie's going to be 3 in August. I thought it was Luna. So yeah, I think that's most of the things that I wish I'd known. I'll probably think of more and then end up doing an additional video. And I'll probably do a things I've learnt video as well, if you'd like to see one. You never know, it might have some mum hacks in it that I now do that might help someone out. For example, I don't know. You know those you know the high chairs. You know that we've got one where there's a tray, and then there's a tray that goes in the tray, and if you trap the bib in between the tray, the plastic tray that comes off, and the other tray, if they drop anything, it catches it all rather than going down and then under the table. So that's one straight off I can think of. But yeah, I'll do another video completely on mum hacks that I've learnt. They might be old ones, they might be ones you've not heard of before, but I'll do one. So I'll wrap it up for now there and say it's ta-ta from me and ta-ta from the Rosie Bear.